Use the hate, don't act the fool. Spewing words, vile and cruel. Live by the golden rule. Consider it kind and just be cool.
Hey, and welcome to the Just Be Cool show. I'm Paco, and I'm here with my good friend Reggie.
Hey there, we're the Just Be Cool guys. And in this increasingly diverse society that we live in, it is our mission to promote tolerance and inclusivity. How's everyone doing today? Today, actually, the day that we're recording is World Kindness Day, Friday, November the 13th, every year. A day that promotes the importance of being kind to each other, to yourself, and to the world.
And I gotta say, that's something that we need on a Friday the 13th in the year of 2020, right? I mean, I'm not a
Oh my goodness.
superstitious person, but I'm looking for all the positivity we can get. But yeah, that's right. There's no time for negativity. So if you're new to our campaign here with Just Be Cool, Reggie and I are longtime educators in Tallahassee, Florida, which is Florida's capital. So how have you been doing, Reggie?
Uh, you know, on Friday the 13th, honestly, I'm shocked that we're actually doing this on Friday the 13th because I am as superstitious as they come. In fact, I'm the kind of person that I cannot, when I'm grading, like if I'm grading, I cannot leave canvas on 13. Like if I have 13 assignments left, it's either 14 or 12. I mean, I'm sorry, I just cannot do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been a dilemma of mine for a while. But honestly, at this point of the year, I am zoomed out. In fact, last week I decided to have some fun with my students for Halloween. So I had to go out and get some Black Panther gear because I calculated in the last 11 weeks, I've spent about 1,500 minutes teaching on Zoom, and I'm sure my students are just exhausted. I'm ready for the semester to be over. So I figured that everyone needed a little change of pace. And also I wanted to pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman, who meant so much to Black people like me.
Yeah. I as well was shocked and really impacted by the passing of Chadwick Boseman. It was definitely a surprise and a reminder to all of us to kind of just remember how short we are here and to just be cool to one another, so that way we can bring as much joy and happiness while we have that time. But I'll tell you what, those statistics that you're just sharing, you're a superhero too. So I think you were worthy of the Black Panther gear when you wore it to class.
Well, it was quite a shock to I think some of my students, but I was feeling very. It was that time, so it was good. So anyway, so our show is all about positivity and yourself. I mean, speaking about being an education superhero, I mean, you do a great job of promoting positivity yourself, Paco. Why don't you tell our viewers about the bodega that you and your partner Eva created in your classroom this year?
Yeah, so Eva and I, for a long time, have wanted to do something like this. I mean, no matter where you go, in both of our professions, they're a social worker, I'm a teacher, Reggie, you're a teacher, you see this as well. There's always people who are in need, whether they're comfortable and feel safe enough to say it out loud. There are always people in need. And while most schools, mine included, offer a food pantry where students can go and get basic supplies, unfortunately requires students to sort of out themselves that they have that need. And that can be an embarrassing and a shameful experience for them, even though it shouldn't be. So not to like undermine that, but to offer an additional resource. Eva and I came up with this idea of putting a bodega in our classroom. And the idea comes from, I mean, you see it in big cities around the world, these small, independently owned mom and pop little shops, and they're often owned and run by immigrants to offer communities for those people who come from other places, who need a safe space, and who don't necessarily feel comfortable in the larger community that they're surrounded by. And so we created this space called Eva's Bodega in my classroom, where thanks to just an amazing amount of cash donations and donations of food and drink supplies, Since the beginning of the year, we've been able to offer our students food, drinks, basic health and hygiene products, from deodorants to hair care products like shampoo and conditioners, changes of clothes, and it's all free of charge for the students. There's no requirement for them to ask permission. We, at the beginning of the year, explained to all of my classes that here is this space. It's free and available. You don't have to ask. You just go in and take what you need, and feel free to tell your friends about it and your classmates. And so as the year has gone on, it's just been really amazing to see students who I know, and then they bring in their friends with them, and they get to grab a bag of chips and a bottle of water. And as they're walking out, they're like, "Are you sure this is free? There's no charge?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is what we're doing. We're trying to make people feel as if they never have to be without a basic, and what should be nothing that you'd ever have to worry about is food and drink and feeling clean and sanitary." And it's really spreading. I've had students that I don't even know now start to come in and ask, and not sometimes not even ask, just go in and take what they need. And even a handful of teachers have given me some feedback saying that they've heard really good things about it. So we're going to keep working and continuing with our outreach. Eva has now created an Instagram and Facebook account for the Bodega, so that way we can spread the word of the good things that we're trying to do, especially on International Kindness Day. Just remembering that if we share a little kindness now, I think that kindness is contagious, and people will see that there is good, and that we're only better if we can share that kindness.
Yeah, and every day really should be World Kindness Day anyway, right? And I think it's an excellent service to the students
100%.
for school. So providing a safe space so that they can be themselves without fear of being judged. So thank you and Eva for doing that.
Yeah, thank you. We're very proud of it. Switching gears, for our next segment, we chatted with Richard McShane, all the way in Australia. Richard was the only overseas backer of our Kickstarter campaign this summer, and he talked to us about what drew him to our message and shared his own perspective on promoting tolerance and inclusivity. So
welcome to the Just Be Cool show. And we're here with Richard McShane, who is the chairman of the board at Providence Consulting in Canberra, Australia's capital city. Welcome, Richard.
Thank you very much, Reggie. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's really great to have you here. Thank you.
Thanks, Paco.
Yes, well, Richard, if you, as a businessman, you had mentioned in an email that you're kind of a serial Kickstarter stalker, and you're always on the lookout for innovation and innovative ideas. Well, what is it that caught your attention about the Just Be Cool campaign?
Yeah, look, it stands out to me because I thought it was just a very succinct, simple way to get what is ultimately can be a very complex question out there. So just be cool, just don't be a bunch of things is a really simple message that that to me resonates quite well. And we saw it in what is about 10 words. You've summed up what people debate for days, weeks, and months over. So just seeing that on the T-shirt, it's something I know I can wear. My son has asked for me to buy one for him. Because, it just stood out so quickly and uniquely. The things that you try and get across in sentences and discussions, and you don't need to. You've summed it up.
Oh, thank you.
So you mentioned the importance of something resonating with you, and can you talk about that messaging and what role messaging might have to play in your business?
Yeah. And excuse me, but for about 15 years, we've had a very simple policy at my business until it grew, where my HR team came on and changed my policy for me. It was a pretty simple policy. It was no dickheads. And the no dickheads policy has stood really well by me. We work in defence consultancy and government consultancy work. And for me to put somebody out onto a client site to work side by side with a client, and my clients are just like me. I've worked there before, and I will probably work there again. Is that for me to put somebody out there? I want to ensure that I would be happy to work alongside them any particular day. So no dickheads was the simple rule for me. Was if I'm not happy to work for 6 weeks next to this person, then why should I expect anybody else to? And that's just a very simple thing. It comes down to their attitude. It comes down to their culture, their values, and just generally, are they a nice person to be around? And again, your T-shirt sums a lot of that up. It's culture, it's values, and it's ethos.
Yeah, so the Just Be Cool message, it's something that that comes for Reggie and I through our practice as teachers, and as we're dealing with not just students but parents and coworkers. There's so many of life's problems could be solved if people would just be cool. Like, it's very similar to your policy. It's like, don't make things harder than they have to be. Don't it's just be cool.
Yeah. I don't think I mentioned it. Both my parents are teachers, and so yeah, we've seen a lot of uncool behaviour in schools, especially come parent-teacher night. More and more so now.
Yes. Yeah. So
we've got, sorry, just
no,
to diverge a bit, through the company Providence, we've taken what was a very simple a simple statement, and we've turned it into a set of values and behaviours now that we strive to have. Well, we recruit to those values first and foremost, and then we look to say, well, can they now technically do the job? Because we can train that. What we can't train is values and behaviours. And so, our values and behaviours are, they again align quite nicely with Just Be Cool, because they are about acceptance. They're about tolerance and two-way tolerance with the clients. Understand that the clients are people as well. Understand that they have their own issues day to day. I would love for them to understand that we have our own issues day to day, and that we all come from a different basis and a different set of experiences that we all need to understand to be tolerant of, because it may be a different set of experiences that have brought you to where you are now, but they're still your experiences and you've lived them.
I was doing a little bit of research today, and I understand you have a quite large national zoo and aquarium over there, with a wide variety of animals. I'm dying to visit it now. So could you tell me a little bit about it? Do you know anything about?
Well, yeah, I've done a couple of behind the scenes tours over there, which is actually great. For my 50th birthday, I got to spend the night there, which was absolutely outstanding. But from Paco to his back wall was the distance between me and 3 lions sleeping on the floor behind glass, thankfully.
Yeah. Okay.
It is actually a lovely zoo that's growing every day. It's a privately owned zoo, so but they've got quite a number of breeding programs that they work with the larger zoos around the rest of the country. And the guy who owns the place, Richard, also his family has lived on site. It's sort of like out of the movie I Bought a Zoo. They've just lived the life, and thankfully it's now rewarding them that they're actually plugging everything back into creating a better zoo with larger habitats and friendlier environments. But it is a lovely place.
So, Richard, as soon as this whole pandemic thing slows down over here, so we're going to give you a call. We'll be right over. How about
We'll be
that?
right there.
Well,
For sure.
you should at least come and visit. The door is always open.
Well, I really I've had a good time speaking with you, Richard. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And actually, one thing I didn't mention was through my work with Providence, I'm actually also on the board of an Indigenous or an Aboriginal company that's an Aboriginal consulting company in Canberra, and they're a partner company that we've started working with, but then we've taken it a step further. They asked me to join their board to help provide them advice and guidance to grow to be the company that they can be. And it's also about for me, it's a way to give back, because this consulting company, whilst it is a for-profit, it's not a not-for-profit, they are all about giving back to their local community and the Aboriginal communities around Australia. And it's been a great eye-opener for me to use. We bought Coraggio Proprietary Limited. We bought Coraggio into our company to give us education on Aboriginal issues, on tolerance, on helping build an inclusivity program that also includes the inclusivity of our First Nations people, but which in itself was an eye-opener to see the history of Australia from the Indigenous perspective. Because with things that I have never known and never heard in my education are now slowly becoming known, because we're slowly getting a voice from our Indigenous nation. There were over 500 individual Indigenous nations in Australia before white men came, and so they're able to help us through educating, and we're educating our a couple of hundred staff. I am also able to educate them by helping and growing them in terms of governance and how to work within the bureaucracy, etc., which is making them a better company, which allows them to give more back to the community. And it's just been a great reciprocal relationship that we've created with Coraggio. It's been really, really educational for me too, and very rewarding.
Oh, that's a fantastic
really cool.
story.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Richard. We really appreciate that.
No worries.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everything goes really well for you guys.
Yes.
I love what you're doing. I think your goals are terrific and quite admirable, and I really hope more people jump on board and support you. I think good luck.
Well, thanks again, and I really appreciate it. And we'll see you probably in about 6 months.
Yeah. Thank you very much for taking the time.
Yeah.
No I'm sorry I couldn't be wearing the shirt today.
Oh, that's okay. Well, let us know when you do get it. We'd love to see
a lot of time at the moment.
Yes, we'd love to see a photo.
Will do.
Okay. Take care, Richard.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you.
Okay. Bye.
Great meeting you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now for the Just Be Cool news. From a high school cross-country meet in Indiana, Axel Ailman gave up several spots in the race to stop and assist a competitor, Levi LaGrange, who had fallen and hurt his ankle. Axel stayed with Levi, and they both finished the race together.
Very nice. Young people showing us old guys how to do it. Well, when I say old, I kind of mean you, Paco, not me.
Well,
An 18-year-old demonstrates how we should all live. Never hesitate to pick up your fellow man, woman, human being, and provide a helping hand.
It's a wonderful story.
Well, here's another. In Woburn, Massachusetts, just outside Boston, electrician John Kinney was called in to fix a ceiling light at the home of 72-year-old resident Gloria Scott. When he got there, he found her light was just one of the many repairs her home needed. So he returned and began working for free and set up a Facebook page calling for fellow handymen to help out, and they did. Next thing you know, Gloria's home got a new plumbing, electrical wiring, new walls, new ceiling, and a new porch.
It's amazing. It was Mahatma Gandhi who said, "A nation's greatness is measured by how it treats its weakest members." I think that's a really great thing to think about. Here's another feel-good article. A retired 75-year-old pensioner in England put up a poster in his window asking for friends after his wife died. In response, Tony Williams received so many messages that his email inbox crashed. People from all around the world contacted him about being his friends. People wanted to adopt him as their kid's grandfather. A teacher contacted Tony to ask if the children in her class could write him letters.
Wow. Very nice. No one can live indefinitely on an island, right? People need people. For our next segment, we want to highlight a few of the photos of our supporters promoting tolerance with the Just Be Cool t-shirts.
I'll tell you, Reggie, this part always excites me because we get to show off folks wearing the Just Be Cool t-shirt, and that's where this whole thing began. So let's celebrate. Here's Richard McShane with his Just Be Cool shirt that took more than 2 months to make it to Australia.
Well, actually, he actually emailed us because we sent him a second one because the first one apparently got lost in the post. But then he emailed me about a couple of days ago and said that the other one showed up, and but we were just enjoy them both. He's such a fantastic made for such a fantastic interview. And
That's right.
We were glad that he was able to get his shirt, and here he is on Mollymock Beach, which is about a 3-hour drive from Canberra, Australia's capital.
Yeah, and from the interview, just hearing the way he was describing everything and seeing that photo, I have to ask you, Reggie, when are you booking our tickets?
Let's see. Well, my contract goes through, I think it's like March 5th. No, I'm sorry, May 5th. What am I talking about? March 5th. May 5th. I guess I want to go that badly that I want to go in March. So so I think that I'll be waiting for you to get out of school. So yeah. So you don't get out until like the middle of June now.
Yep. Well, we should get down there now because remember it's summer there right now. So
yeah, this is true. But with the way that things are going in this country, I don't think we're going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
But anyway, so here are Laura, Greg, and Ellis sporting their shirts in San Francisco.
Oh man, that is fantastic. I loved San Francisco when we got to go there a few years back. It's a fantastic place to visit.
It really is. Expensive, but fantastic.
Yes, for sure. And here is Suzette and Aaron, who wore their shirts to Disney's Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom in Orlando, promoting some positivity in Mickey Land.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. For our last photo, Mary and Sam modeled their shirts for us in St. Petersburg, Florida. Please feel free to send us your photos. You can post them on our Facebook page or send them to us via email. It's raffle time. This is when we select a deserving teacher to receive a free shirt. If you want to nominate a teacher, click on the nominating form found on our Facebook page or on our website. Reggie, spin the wheel.
This month's winner is Jana Lee Jarrett. Jana Lee is a social studies teacher at Rickards High School in Tallahassee who was nominated by one of her colleagues who says Jana Lee is one of the kindest people I come in contact with on a regular basis. Congratulations, Jana Lee. We hope you'll wear your new Just Be Cool t-shirt with pride.
That's it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. Be sure to check us out online at our website, www.justbecool.co, and our Facebook page. Feel free to email us at justbecoolyall@gmail.com.
In a world where you can be anything, be considerate, be kind, and just be cool. Bye now.
Use the hate, don't act the fool. Spewing words, vile and cruel. Live by the golden rule. Consider it kind and just be cool.